The NBA playoffs are underway. Today's video, we will be predicting the entire first round and what series will end in what game. Let's get straight to it. Okay, a couple quick things before we get started. Number one, you guys already know, or some of you may know, depending on when you watch this, who's already finalized for the 8 seeds. I'm recording this before the plan so I can get it out to you guys at a reasonable hour. So between the Warriors and Suns and between the Hornets and the Magic, I don't know who's finalized. So I'll make a prediction for both teams. But let's get straight to it like I mentioned. If it's Thunder versus Warriors, I have Thunder in 4, maybe 5. Maybe 5. But I would say realistically 4. It's tough because anytime you have Stephen Curry in the mix, surely, a Stephen Curry team's going to snag at least one game. But Thunder are just insane. If it's the Suns play super hard. I wouldn't be surprised if they snag one game, but I'm going to go with Thunder and 4 no matter who they play. I think the Thunder are just way too talented. You could have a really good argument for Golden State taking 1. You could have a good argument for the Suns taking 1, but I don't think there's a chance either team takes OKC to game 6. They're just, OKC is too crazy. We have Lakers versus Rockets. This is a tough one for me. Mostly because, as some of you may know, if you've been around for this channel, I'm a Laker fan. I'm very open about it. I'm very, very diehard Laker fan. So you can't expect me to be objective and not biased. I'm very biased. You guys know who I want to pick. I want to pick the Lakers. They're down Luka and AR. I know that, but I can't help myself. You know that feeling when you're a fan, when your team, if I'm being objective and if I'm just throwing everything out the window of me as a Laker fan, the Rockets should win in 5 or 6. I would say 6, just because I don't believe in the Rockets' ability in the playoffs. Their offense in the regular season already had struggles late in game. They had a lot of struggles with really good defenses, and you expect that to improve in the playoffs when the defense is only better, because the NBA, historically speaking, allows teams to be more physical. Like, it doesn't make sense to me how they're just like, yeah, guys, all right, what we would call a foul in the regular season, we're not going to call a foul in the postseason. You would think it would be the same. Now, that's just what it is. So knowing that, their offense to me is going to be an issue for many games in any physical series. I think this series will be no exception. I know you're down Luke and AR, but realistically, Rockets should win in 6. I want to pick the Lakers. I'm a Laker fan. I apologize for those of you who are going to be annoyed by this, but the fan in me says Lakers. But objectively speaking, I would say Rockets in 6. But if also if Luka and AR get back, it's a whole different ball game, right? If they get back game 3, 4, 5, objectively speaking, again, fan aside, Lakers are very much, in the series. But I'm only picking the Lakers because I'm a Laker fan, if I'm being honest with you. As great as the Nuggets have been, I think a lot of people just forget about how much of an X factor Anthony Edwards is in the playoffs. We watched his previous playoff runs, and it's just like, damn. This guy just turns up all the way. And you have key pieces like Naz Reid, Julius Randle. You're missing a guy like Nickeil Alexander-Walker, to be honest with you. Rudy Gobert is going to be, big for defensive purposes. But ultimately, I think the Nuggets are new and improved. I think the added players that they got in Cam Johnson, Jonas Valanciunas, they do help a lot because, you look at Jonas Valanciunas and you're like, this guy isn't a great player by any means. But you have to understand, it's the non-Jokic minutes that the Nuggets really were hurting in. If you're a Denver Nuggets fan, you know this better than me. The non-Jokic minutes, when you had backup centers in previous years, just sucked. Jonas Valanciunas helps out tremendously in that regard. I'm going to go ahead and go Nuggets in 6. I think it'll be a close series, possibly, stuck at 2-2, Nuggets 3-2, Nuggets take the series. But I'm more comfortable at this point in time with the Nuggets. San Antonio Spurs versus the Trailblazers. If I'm being honest with you, I do not think this is going to be a sweep. My biggest reasoning for one, we do have 2, inexperienced teams. I know you have Drew Holiday for the Blazers, who obviously won a championship. You could say the same thing about Harrison Barnes being, a veteran in that locker room. But ultimately, we do have 2 teams who their main players got no playoff experience. This is it. So I think for the Spurs, as good as they are, it's very possible. It's in the realm of possibilities that they're up 10 and, or up 15 and they lose the lead in the fourth, or the lead gets really close. Just because, again, when you have a team who hasn't experienced this yet, those things, historically speaking, happen. Could the Spurs be an exception? Of course. I think the Blazers play really hard. I talked about him a little bit. Denny is really good player. Wemby does counter his play style of him just going downhill a lot. I think this is going to be, realistically, I think we're going to have a 4-1, right? It's possible. It's very possible. It's very possible we get 4-2. I think realistically, we're going to get 4-1. Blazers should be able to take one. Talented team. Spurs are inexperienced. Blazers are inexperienced. It's going to be something new for both sides. Okay, for the sake of using matchup mode, I'm quickly just going to click on teams. I don't think it matters if I do this. This is not my prediction. I'm literally just clicking on teams. I swear to God, if people take this out of context, this is not my bracket. I do not have the Lakers winning the chip. I just want to get to matchup mode. Today's video, we're focusing on the first round. Oh my God. Come on. Hold on, I'm just picking teams. This is not my prediction. I gotta repeat this because I guarantee you, for those of you still watching at this exact moment, someone's gonna click on the end of the video and look at that Lakers winning the chip and be just pissed. I'm telling you, it happens. It happens more than you guys would think. But anyway, going into the East, so far we've only predicted the first round. That's the video, okay? Going into the East, Pistons versus the Hornets. If it's the Hornets, it could be the Magic. Honestly, I would say if it's the Hornets, Pistons in 6, I think we'd have a 4-2 series. That could be a hot take. Some of you are like, whoa, Pistons are really, really good. In my eyes, the Hornets had not even in my eyes, literally, the Hornets had a phenomenal second half of the season. One of the best records in the second half of the season in the whole NBA. And the Pistons, as good as they are, we have another case of an inexperienced roster. They had one playoff series under their belt. The key guys of this team, Oswar, Cade, Jalen, one playoff series under the belt. I think they'll establish themselves and definitely win this series. I think they'll be a lot more physical as well than the Hornets. But the Hornets are also talented enough to snag 2 with the way that they finished and the way that they have their roster going now with Brandon Miller, LaMelo. Khan definitely had a bad first playing game. I don't know how that second playing game is going to be. And if it's the Magic, I think this is a 4-1. Magic, to me, they have too much talent to be not as good as they need to be. I'm not going to say bad. They're not a bad team. Expectations they have not met. They have the players to be a lot better. You could argue it's just coaching. You could argue it's Paolo's inability to shoot the 3-ball and kind of plateauing a little bit. But I think 4-1 realistically for the Magic Pistons, and I would say 4-2 for the Hornets and Pistons. Regardless, I'd have Pistons moving on, and they're going to be a problem in the East. Cleveland Cavaliers and Toronto Raptors. This one's a really weird one because you have the Cavs who have done nothing in the playoffs since LeBron James left. Like literally nothing. They've made no run, no real run. And the Raptors, whom this is their new and improved team, faces the franchise of Scotty Barnes, BI is there as well to help. RJ Barrett's there to help. IQ, Jakob Poeltl. They got a good team. And honestly, they could certainly take the Cavs to 6 or 7, but I can't imagine the Cavs with Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, not pulling through. I mean, that's what you got James Harden for. I know James Harden is not a known playoff performer, and I've talked about it so much in my videos, as you guys know. But getting through round 1 against a team who, again, they haven't been here. The Raptors just have not been here. You got to go Cavs, right? I would say Cavs in 6. Okay, we got the New York Knicks and Atlanta Hawks. This one's going to be a bit of a weird one because Atlanta finished the season on fire, like smoking hot. It was honestly unreal to watch. However, the Knicks, the run that they made last year going to the Eastern Conference Finals, going against the Pacers, you would expect that to translate to this season as well. I mean, they've only, to me, gotten better roster additions. The biggest change for the Knicks really was the coaching. You went from Tom Thibodeau to Mike Brown. I don't necessarily know how much that'll pay off, if at all, for the Knicks, considering, the Pistons are going to be a serious threat. The Celtics are going to be a serious threat. But this is the year, honestly. You kind of have to do it this year. I mean, there's just been so much scrutiny towards... I mean, a lot of it's too because they're a big market team. And the Hawks, really, there's no expectation for them to win this series, like, at all. So they can play a little more freely, a little more loose. Jalen Johnson can get that experience that he just needs. Because, again, if he's the face of the franchise moving forward, you're also getting another pick. Like, this is much needed experience for the team. I don't expect them to win, but I think this series should go to Game 6. To me, you're going to have the Knicks up 3-1 at some point. Hawks win 1-3-2. Knicks win 4-2. As much as I'd like to say Knicks should, dominate, the ups and downs of this team, I mean, Knicks fans know it better than me, but they should still win. 76ers, Boston Celtics. This series would be a lot more entertaining if we definitively had Joel Embiid playing. He's out game 1 already, which is unfortunate, but I don't see how the Sixers can win without Joel Embiid. I think the Celtics, their biggest weakness, if you could call it a weakness, is they don't really have a solution to stop a guy like Jokic, a guy like Embiid. They do play hard. They do play physical. Kate has been, improved upon this year, but I don't see a solution for an answer again like a Jokic Embiid. Their best defenders really come at the wing. So with Embiid out and it being a focal point of Tyrese Maxey, Paul George, I would comfortably say the Celtics should win 4-1, if not 4-0. I would say 4-1 just because I think Tyrese Maxey is good enough to steal one with the help of Paul George, VJ Edgecombe. But assuming Embiid's out, we're going to go with the Celtics 4-1. They're just too good, honestly. Okay, last year we went 6 for 8 in the first round. Let's see how we can do this year. Also, I got to reiterate, for those of you looking at the Lakers beating the Rockets, I'm only doing it because I'm a fan, and I can't, as a diehard fan, I can't pick another team, all right? I just can't do it in the first round. I know, objectively speaking, analysts and me speaking, Rockets should win in 5 or 6, I would say 6, but I can't do it. Alrighty, I greatly appreciate you guys for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe. It goes a long way over the channel. As always, this is All We've Been Different. All We've Been Different, and we out.